My name is Dorian Santiago, and this chapter is titled Moving at the Speed of Life. March 7th, 2015. Dun dun dun. I know. It just feels like, I don't know, I wanted to be something spectacular and build some tension. But that's when I actually received the message. I received the message from God. Now, I know that sounds crazy. Anytime somebody says that, you're thinking, really? Like, what does that mean? That guy's insane. Yes, I agree. I was watching President Obama give a speech on the 50th anniversary of the walk to Selma, Alabama. He was on the Edmund Pettus Bridge, and as I was watching it, a voice came to me. And it sounded much like my own. And what I realized is God needs to do that. He needs to sound like us, because if we actually heard his voice, it would probably scare the hell out of us. It would actually make us think that we are insane. But I did hear this voice, and this voice I knew was not my own, although it sounded much like me. And it said, if you want your screenplay produced, you need to walk to Los Angeles. Now, that's all that it said. But hearing it, I instantly knew it's what I had to do. So I was obedient. Within minutes, I set a date to walk, and it was May 3rd. The best laid plans of mice and men often go awry, so I didn't plan too much. I start my walk and start in Chicago. Although I live in Atlanta, I decided that I was going to start from Chicago because I wanted to see my grandmother. She's much older, and I normally see her for her birthday. And I knew I was going to miss her birthday, and I wasn't going to stop my walk for anything. So I wanted to see her before I started my walk, just in case, she died. Yeah, I know, that's an awkward moment. But it's honest. It was real to me. Because if she died, I wasn't going to stop to go to her funeral. This walk was that powerful. It was that moving to me. I start in Chicago, and I start off with giving 100 hugs to absolute strangers, right? Because this was something bigger than me. This was about humanity. The message that I wanted to bring with my screenplay and with my life is we need to respect our differences and love each other in spite of them. And I had to focus on each moment, just taking the next step, whatever that next step was. And for my walk, it was literally taking a step. I get about a week in, and I have this excruciating pain. And every time I tell this story, people laugh because I use the term pinky toe. Yep. See, they're laughing now. But it's funny how something so small can be crippling. A gentleman that I met, his name was Lynn Rentz. He told me to go back and get healthy and then start my walk again. And I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to do all those miles again. And he said, well, you already walked them, so you don't have to. So he bought me a train ticket back to Chicago. It was a Thursday. And I bought a round trip ticket to come back Monday. So that no matter what happened while I was in Chicago, I was going to start my walk back on Monday. So I get to Chicago and go to the hospital. Mind you, I walked 2 miles from the train station to the hospital, and they tell me that I have post-traumatic arthritis in my pinky toe from a ruptured Achilles. And I should not do my walk. And that just wasn't what I wanted to hear. So I asked them, I said, hey, like, is this it? Is it just the pinky toe? And they're like, yeah, it's just in the pinky toe. So most people will not believe this, but I told them to cut it off. And they sort of giggled uncomfortably, like, no, he's not serious. And with the most serious intent, I told them, cut it off. I don't need it. I need to finish this walk. They didn't like my option, and I didn't like theirs. They told me, so I said, hey, like, we have to compromise something. And they told me to elevate, medicate, rest, all those types of things. And I have to tell you, I went back Monday, dedicated myself to taking the very next step. And for the rest of my walk, which took 4 months, it didn't hurt. It was something that I would call a miracle.